Welcome back to Lojban is Too Easy. I did mention before that we've had 20 lessons so far, and I did mention earlier that this is enough to talk about stuff, and we've been talking about stuff. What we have learned so far was not quite enough for like a minimal subset of Lojban where you could say, all right, this is just my style is to use this much, and I'm not going to learn more. We did learn some extra stuff because, all right, E is pretty essential. That means split up sentences. But we is just if you want to talk about your emotions, mark your emotions. We says you're happy about stuff, but you don't have to mark emotions, so that's optional. Lanme is a verb. I guess verbs are pretty. I don't think you could speak Lojban well without using verbs, so I would suggest using verbs like lanme, which means to be a sheep. T, you don't really need that. That means the thing I'm pointing at. Shadzu means to walk. Ohu means I feel relaxed. Strasu means grass. Mi means I. Shitka means to eat. Lo turns a verb into a noun. Shu means, hey, watch out. There's the verb is coming up next. Klama is to go. Oi means ow. Trishu means tree, sheepshi means chicken, zdani means house. Zo, we only need stuff like zo if we want to talk about words themselves. If you want to talk about words, then you pretty much need something like zo, because zo quotes a word so you can talk about a word. So like zdani always means a house, but if you say zo zdani, then you mean the word zdani. Zozdani valsi. Zozdani, the word zdani is a word. Valsi means word. Bakni means cow. Viska means to see. Now, these, we've been able to make sentences, plenty of sentences out of these. Like you can say, Lo bakni shu viska, the cow sees, and so forth. But you may have noticed that Viska has a couple different places, and there's the thing that sees, the Viska, and then there's the thing that the Viska sees. Like, mi Viska lo bakni, I see a cow. So you can take out the person who sees by saying lo Viska, but we didn't have any way to take out the thing seen. So what we're going to do in order to have we actually need that if we're going to be like, okay, we did it, we learned Lojban, we can just speak Lojban. We're going to need a way to take out the places and use as nouns all of the different like the direct objects and indirect objects of these things. So what we're going to do is use se to turn sentences around, or to turn verbs around. Se takes a verb, and then it makes out of that verb another verb that means the same thing, but with the first two places reversed. The subject becomes the direct object, and the direct object becomes the subject. That is complicated because we're thinking about it too much, but after we have enough examples that we can stop thinking about it, it'll start to be easy. Ready? Mi viska lo trishu. I see a tree. I lo trishu shu se viska mi. The reason why we need a shu there is because you can stack verbs and say trishu se viska. Trishu se viska, it stacks up the two verbs, and so then we can say mi klama lo trishu se viska. And then the lo takes out the thing from this stacked verb. From this stack of verbs, the thing at the end of the stack of verbs that determines how the stack of verbs is determined by the one at the end. You can the reason that's cool because that means that if you say the wrong one, you can just keep talking. So the one at the end gives you a chance to keep talking until you get the right one. Is why that's not really. I don't know if that's why. Why is probably because it's similar to English, but I'm pretending the reason why is because then you can keep talking until you get the right one. So the one at the end determines what the thing So if a sentence with se viska as the verb, right? If we have mi ti viska, I see this, then we turn them around, ti mi se viska, I see this. And the ti is the first thing in the first place. So lo, when you say lo se viska, the lo acts after the se, which it's, and I think that's a pretty generally how it works, is the first, as things, the closer things work first. So we have viska, and then we have ad se viska, and that, so then we say lo, and the lo takes out the first thing of se viska, which is the t, the thing seen. Lo se viska. So mi clama lo se viska means I go to a thing that's seen. Is that we need a bunch more examples before the, if you actually haven't seen se before, then you need a bunch more examples than that to feel fine about it. So let's give more examples. Imi shitka I lo lan me shushitka. We need the shu because lo lan me shitka is a noun phrase. Imi viska lo lan me shitka. I see the sheep kind of eater. Lo shitka is an eater. So mi viska lo shitka means I see the eater. And then mi viska lo lan me shitka stacks this verb, but the last one is still the one. So this means means the same thing as this, except it's a lan me kind of eater. Mi viska lo shitka, mi viska lo lan me shitka. So if you say lo lan me shu shitka, you want to say, if you want to say a sheep eats, then you have to say shu. Lo lan me shu shitka. Ilo lan me shu shitka lo srasu. I shitka lo srasu. Ilo srasu shu se shitka lo lan me. The se turns it around. So we go from lo lan me shu shitka lo srasu to lo srasu shu se shitka lo lan me. They both mean a sheep eats the grass. I mi viska lo shitka. I lo shitka shu se viska mi. These mean the same. I see the eater. The eater is seen by me. So, and we have to use the shu because shitka se viska forms a stack. I mi klama lo shitka se viska means I go to the eater kind of thing that's seen. Lo se viska, if we say mi klama lo se viska, that means I go to something that's seen. So I mi klama lo shitka se viska, we're just putting in the shitka, but it's still basically the same as mi klama lo se viska, but except that it's an eater kind of seen thing. So that means that shitka se viska forms a stack. So we have to say, if we're going to say I eat something I see, or I eat something that's seen, we have to say mi shitka lo se viska, or lo se viska shu se shitka mi. That way, there's this turned around inside of here, lo se viska, a seen thing, and this whole sentence is turned around because of the turning around the verb shitka to eat, so that the direct object becomes the thing eaten. Se shitka is a turned around eat, so that the thing that eats is the direct object. Se shitka mi, eaten by me. But if we say shitka lo strasu, that means something eats grass. Lo lan me shu shitka lo strasu. The sheep eats the grass. Lo srasu Shu seshitka lo lanme. The grass is eaten by the sheep. The se turns it around. So it sounds simple that that se turns it around, and it is simple, but it does take some practice before it will take some practice before you'll feel comfortable, like, oh, okay, it turns it around, because it turns it around if you put it on the final verb in a stack of the main verb, that'll turn it around. But it won't turn it around if you put it on the not the final verb in a stack. If we got a stack like if we say if I'm going to something that I'm gonna eat, and we say mi klama lo seshitka, I go to a thing, I go to an eaten thing, mi klama lo seshitka, and then if we make that into a stack, we can say mi seshitka klama. Or, all right, I'm going to go to something that I see. Mi viska ti, I mi viska lo trishu. I see this, I see a tree. I mi klama lo seviska. I go to a seen thing. I mi klama lo seviska. I mi seviska klama. So in seviska klama, that's a stack of seviska, seen, and klama, go. And because klama is the thing at the end of the stack, it's what determines the shape of the sentence. So the sentence is in mi seviska klama, I, the seen thing, go to imi viska ti, imi klama ti, imi seviska klama. The klama is the end of the stack of verbs. So it's what decides the shape of the sentence. It decides that me goes in the subject, and the thing that I go to goes in the direct object. So mi seviska klama ti. I, a seen thing, kind of go to this. I mi seviska klama lo trishu. I mi klama ti. I mi seviska klama. I mi I lo trishu shu se klama mi. I mi klama lo trishu. I mi klama ti. I mi klama lo trishu. I lo trishu shu se klama mi. The tree is gone to by me. I go to the tree. Lo trishu shu se klama mi. So, incidentally, we get the ability to turn sentences around. Like, instead of mi klama, we can say, instead of mi klama, I go, we can say se klama mi, gone to by me. So that's funny, but that's not the main thing. That's not why we picked up se as a tool in this very basic set of tools. The reason why we wanted se as a very basic tool in this surmounting of Lojban that we are doing is that we want to be able to make nouns out of all of the different we've got the verbs have the subjects, they also have direct objects. And so we want to be able to also make nouns out of the direct objects, which now we can do with se. I mi viska ti, I ti seviska, I mi klama lo seviska. I go to the thing I go to the thing that's seen, mi klama lo seviska. I mi viska lo lanme. I mi klama lo lanme. I mi klama lo seviska. I mi viska lo bakni. I mi klama lo bakni. I mi klama lo seviska. So now that gives us a bunch more nouns we can make out of the verbs we already have. So we can say there's even more stuff we can say. We are so successfully already speaking Lojban and have I can't even think what other tools we absolutely need to keep speaking Lojban. Probably a few more, but not too much at all. It's easy. Mi sezdani ti. This is my house. Now you know se.